Welcome to the Geek Down by the Geek Fam. I'm your host today, Corey McGarvey. With us, we've got a great group of people. We're going to start off with our newest addition to the crew, Ryan Greenwood. Ryan, where are you from, my friend?
Fort Worth, Texas.
All right, Ryan. So this is a question everyone has to answer when they join the show. You've got to tell us what brought you into the geek lifestyle.
Man, I just grew up with it. I remember putting underwear on my head as a kid, like dressing up like superheroes with like a cape on, as like with my brother, and just like hanging out and like playing the video games, reading the comic books, DC, Marvel, you name it. It's just, and then I want to say it was about when I was 18 is when I really putted into like my lifestyle that I was like a full-on geek. Like after high school, I was like, screw it, I'm a geek. I love it.
Yeah,
it's who I am.
It's kind of weird. High school wise, I don't know. Like I wouldn't say you get really picked on for it, but it was it was weird. Nowadays, people are trying hard to be geeks in high school. Like, it's a cool thing to do.
Yeah. It wasn't like whenever I was growing up. Like, it was just like a subtle thing that, like, we kind of put to the side. Like, you were a geek at heart, but you didn't want to, like, flaunt it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, Punisher.
Yeah, like... It's totally. It's like we said off recording. It's a totally different time for comic fans. Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right. So next up, we're gonna mention Ernie, who's already been talking. So Ernie, thank you for coming back.
What up?
All right. And then we have Thor's meaner cousin, the founder of the Geek Fam, Josh Mallory. Josh, welcome back.
How y'all doing?
The founder, the king, the guy that's tired and doesn't want to do it. But I dragged...
Oh, hell.
You dragged him back with the promise of talk of the Pink Ranger.
Because I dragged him in because we're talking about the Pink Ranger's ass. So...
He likes them white girls.
Dude, it's his kryptonite.
All right. And finally, we also have our good friend back, Black Flash. Welcome back, Black Flash.
Are there any girls here?
No.
Okay, because there's a pink icon on my thing right now, like showing everybody, shows everybody's face or whatever. But somebody has a pink icon on my phone.
On my side, Josh's JM is in a pink. It looks like a pink M&M. And
Josh. And
Keon's is a lighter pink. You would almost call it vulva pink. KG.
Oh, he knows the shades.
Yeah, it changes from the vulva to the labia.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
What's up, bud?
Yeah.
What's up?
Well, welcome back, everybody. All right, we're going to start off by going right into the new Power Rangers movie. Your thoughts on it? We're going to start off with the Power Rangers master, also known as Thor's meaner cousin.
So far it's looking pretty good. I'm waiting on a trailer to kind of give my final thoughts on it.
That's the problem.
The females they got playing the new Pink and Yellow Ranger though, they're looking pretty good so far to me.
All right. Well, since we've already talked a little bit about the old school Rangers prior to this, what's everybody's thought on the original Pink Ranger? We're gonna just go around the horn. Keon, what'd you think of the original Pink Ranger?
Whack.
Are you saying?
No, seriously, the original Pink Ranger was whack. She wasn't even cute to me. If that's what you were going for, and if that's the main criteria for a Pink Ranger, there have been much cuter Pink Rangers than the original one, and she was the least liked for me of all of the Rangers. So,
Josh, you're up, man. I'm not even going to respond to that.
Amy Jo Johnson was her name, but she could have got it back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I was young, so she was fine to me.
Everything was fine to us, Josh. We were kids. I mean, Cruella de Vil was fine to me, man. Come on.
Okay, Ryan, your turn. You're up.
The Pink Ranger, I mean, the same thing. Dude, I was a kid. Like, everything just, to me, like, she was cute. She was hot. And
But see, the Power Ranger from In Space, the yellow one, she was the hottest.
I'll give you that. Ernie, it's your turn, man. What'd you think?
The original, like,
Ernie, you're up, my friend.
I'm just in shock still. That's all. Me and Keon, like Keon's one of my go-to guys on the page. Where if I'm in an argument, I tag Josh, Keon, and usually that David dude when it's a hardcore movie argument to get their opinion. Because normally they're on my side with everything. So today I feel betrayed by Keon.
Keon, you do Black Flash.
The Pink Ranger will forever be in my heart. I think she's, dude, I'm telling you, I'm watching it right now with my son, and I had to rewind. It's called Friends Forever episode, I think. She did a gym routine, and I had to look over at my son to see if he was watching it, and he didn't. So I rewinded it so he didn't catch it, so he don't know his dad's a pervert. Because I was like, damn, like they showed her butt this time. Because normally they put the Pink Ranger's sweater, they tied it around her butt normally. Which was smart, I guess. A smart ploy for dirty old men, but at the time it wasn't dirty. But, I mean, I remember being in 3rd grade and my stuff downstairs did something different when she came on screen. I remember I was laying flat on the couch, and inside the couch cushion, I felt a little rub while I saw her. From then on, I'm going to have that link to her because Pink Ranger was the first girl that ever made me go, I'm turning into a man.
Yeah, but she did Tommy wrong in the long end, man.
Dude, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Watching it as an adult now, they try to push for that relationship so hard, and they only make them like kiss on the cheek and stuff. It's really funny. They never would really call them boyfriend and girlfriend, but she did do Tommy bad. But I'll tell you, this is a huge thing amongst my friends. My friends know like 2 things I hate. It's almost like if you watch Scrubs, Dr. Cox hates Hugh Jackman. All my friends know triggers that make me mad: John Cena and Jason David Frank. And I think I've come across on the Geek fan before. People know I hate the Green Ranger. That's just because I'm a very pro Jason Red Ranger as a kid. And as soon as the Green Ranger came,
Jason wasn't about that life, man. He wasn't about that life. Tommy was about that life.
Dude, they pushed my guy aside. When you're at school and you're the Red Ranger at school during class, and the next day you show up and you're not the leader, that hurts.
You're treating it like it's Dawson's Creek or some shit.
Dude, when you're in 3rd grade, that was life. We bought
Power Rangers was Dawson's Creek.
We bought the trading cards.
It was.
We bought the trading cards, and they came with pogs in them that had the coins. So we had to go. We had to go fold pieces of paper, glue the pog on it, and draw our thing. So we have morphers in our back pockets whenever shit got real during recess. And we would all lock up. We would all lock up to make the Megazord and stuff. It was a huge thing during my time. At least being in '93, I was in 3rd grade, so I think that age group was the demographic they wanted. So, I was hunting down the toys and stuff. They were expensive as hell, I remember. But back to everything, yes, the Pink Ranger is super hot. I don't know what Keon's talking about. She got a booty. She's adorable. But don't get me wrong. Again, having a son, you kind of go, or a kid, you kind of go look through Netflix and Hulu or whatever to find other shows for them to watch that's not going to drive you crazy, like Super Y or Little Einsteins or whatever. So you try to find
Caillou.
Caillou's not allowed in this house. Caillou's a bad example.
No, fuck Caillou. We do not do Caillou.
You try to find TV shows that they can watch that are kind of kiddie, but you like as well. So Power Rangers was one of the ones. Go ahead and click that one. Click it. Go ahead.
The other Pink Ranger was fine too, though. The one that came after Kimberly.
Well, I didn't like Cat that much, to be real. But that's what I was gonna say is with Logan, I started putting on newer Power Rangers because I'm like, oh, he's not gonna get into the dated stuff. So I started putting on like Mega Force, whatever, Matt Battle, whatever, or Mega, whatever. And oh my God, the girls they cast, I'm like, are you doing this on purpose for the dads? Like, why are you casting these girls like this? Because let's be real, they're not great actors. So like in the future, in all the future ones, I was shocked, and I started watching more Power Ranger shows because there's hella good looking girls on it, and it's kind of crazy to me. But I think it blows my mind if you guys think about it. Power Rangers has been on for a long ass time, and I don't think they get recognition.
Yeah.
I don't think
I was a kid.
That's what
way over 20 years.
That's why, like last week on the Geek Fam, some dudes like Justice League comes out, the new movie Power Rangers comes out. What are you gonna pick? And a lot of dudes are being dicks, and we're like, of course Justice League. And I'm like, to be real, it'd be different if it was a brand new Justice League, but I don't really like what they're doing with the movies. So right now I'm with Power Rangers until I see a trailer. And people got upset. People were like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? I don't think people realize. I mean, DC has a huge, Marvel, all of them, years and decades of history. But, I mean, Power Rangers kind of got a following. And it's a franchise. I mean, it's a big deal. And right now, me and Josh keep talking about it. Dude, we need a trailer bad for us to decide what's up.
Yeah.
I second that motion. We need a trailer.
They show us pictures, but they're not giving us any real detail of it.
They're not giving us any.
So what were your what'd you guys
The original movie back in the day was on point. Like the Power Rangers, the movie, the first one was real good. So I got kind of hope that the new one will be pretty good.
You're looking through nostalgia eyes because that movie was super bad, but it was bad. It's so bad it's good to me now.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We're going to move forward here. I haven't put in my 2 cents on the Pink Ranger, so I'm going to say my 2 cents. The original Pink Ranger, hot as shit. I don't give a crap what Keon says. Keon, you're in the minority. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. All right. So moving forward, we're going to talk about the DC shows that are showing up on CW. We're going to skip Gotham because I don't think anybody really likes that show in the group. But we're going to go straight to the DC shows. We're going to hit it up first with the Flash, since they are doing a Flashpoint series right now. What do you guys think is going to happen with this Flashpoint series?
So is it like Flashpoint Paradox? Like it's straight up like it's going to do that?
I think in a sense it's going to, just like how we got Civil War, but it wasn't exactly Civil War. I think we're going to get a Flashpoint, but it's not going to be exactly. We're not going to get Thomas Wayne. And that's what sucks. But we're going to get some kind of soft reboot, or the timeline's going to change, I think, somehow. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. It's already been confirmed. No Thomas Wayne, no Batman. None of the other major characters are really going to be changed too much. Cisco Ramon is going to actually be a non-meta human and be running a major corporation that helps Flash out. So it's gonna be interesting how they do it, because they have to adapt it without having some of these major characters. But it's supposed to have a major effect, especially on Supergirl.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is Supergirl part of the world already?
Nope. She's on a different Earth.
So Flashpoint is gonna let her be able to come to
the Arrowverse.
Okay. What Earth are they on now?
Currently, they are on Earth Prime. So right now, the Arrowverse is considered Earth Prime. Earth Universe 2 is where Doom is from. Earth 3 is where Supergirl is from. So
what about Superman?
Superman is part of Earth 3 as well. Now, the Justice League movies and everything is going to be like Earth 7 or 8 or something like that.
Okay.
Now, didn't Jay Garrick say he was from Earth 3?
Oh, yes. Excuse me, yes. Jay Garrick is Earth 3. Supergirl's Earth 4. Correct. Correct, Josh. I forgot about that.
Well, I was just fixing to say what I thought they probably were from the same Earth, but I ain't watched Supergirl that much, so I ain't know what Earth she was from.
Yeah, Supergirl had nothing that resembled the Flash on it, so I do recall that from their crossover episode.
So what do you guys think about the fact that the CW is completely different than the movies?
I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that because we've been seeing some of these, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It hasn't worked out too well for the TV show being in the same universe as the movies.
It has, though.
They've done a great job with it, but their ratings aren't that great. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're not that great, but the show's still on the air.
Well,
True.
What I'll say about that is, it is I think DC, CW, or whatever, they see the difficulties in it. It's working for the show per se, but you know how all of us are, especially fans. We want more. We want more connectivity. Hell, we want to see Captain America on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though we know that's not.
Oh, dude, that would be the shit.
That's not. Yeah, we'd love to see stuff like that, but it's just not plausible. And I think DC knows that, and that's good. That's why I like TV being separate from movies like that, because it's just too big for you to connect it how everybody wants it to.
But dude, they had Samuel motherfucking Jackson on S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think
for one episode.
But one of the biggest paid actors.
I think that's where they
Not
fucked
just
up.
like some random character. It was Samuel L. Jackson.
I think they fucked up doing that because they gave people a lot of hope.
Right.
Because after that, I'm like, cool, we're gonna get a lot more. Then they gave us Sif, which I ain't mad because Sif's episodes were hella good, but that was kind of all we got. I honestly want them to connect because I'm afraid certain characters we won't get to see on TV. Like, okay, I'm gonna go more for say the Netflix series. I'm more afraid that we won't get a chance to see them in an actual movie now because they're so successful on TV. So it does bug me that they don't cross over. But as far as DC goes, I'm not happy with how DC's doing their movies right now. So I'm okay with the TV being separate because I'd be pissed off if the Flashes to me is really good and then they try to bring in some crap that I don't like that Snyder maybe would push in or something like that and ruin what I do like about it. So for me, I would normally want it to all connect because it should. I mean, I feel like they're all part of the same universe. But with this, it's something that I'm totally okay with because the fact of I don't really hide it that I don't like what they're doing with my characters in DC. I should say, at least how I feel. I feel like a lot of things they did wrong with them movie wise, and they're not fixing them either. I feel. Hopefully, Justice League is going to fix it, but that's what I kind of feel.
But that's a good point though, because once again, a lot of people, the gripes they have with DC's movies, tonally, they're totally different from what the TV series are, I think.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that tone, you definitely don't want that tone being pushed into the TVs.
Yeah.
Into the TV. You don't want that somber tone in the TV series. Because you know that's what they're going to do. I mean, if you want to connect shit, well, if we're going to have Batman on Flash, it's got to be darker. It's like, wait, no. Flash is fine the way it is. You know, and so on and so on.
And even though Gotham is pretty much crap to most people and me, they at least got the tone. It at least looks like a show that takes place in Gotham. It looks like a Batman show. And I think that's good. I mean, that's how you should do it. And I think with TV shows, they kind of got more freedom. But I just don't know what we're going to... I don't know now with all this merging happening at Flashpoint.
I think they're setting up Crisis, man.
You think so? Well, I mean, look, we're getting Superman now. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird we're getting Superman.
So you think it's going Crisis of Infinite Earth?
I think Crisis might be like the end game. Like that's why they bringing Darkseid out so soon. It's like I think that might be the end game for DC is Crisis.
Is Superman the only TV?
I would hope so.
Is Superman the only TV person that's been cast that's already in a movie?
Yeah.
We haven't got.
Besides Flash.
Oh, we got.
Flash. Yeah.
I was
And earlier this year, they were saying how Aquaman supposed to be might be popping up on CW or whatever, like one of the TV shows.
Yeah, they're talking about having him pop up on Legends of Tomorrow.
I think. See, I don't really like Legends of Tomorrow too much, but I think
I couldn't stand that.
Yeah.
It was, to me, Legends of Tomorrow was like a shitty sci-fi channel. Like, you know how sci-fi has those like random like TV series? That's what Legends
But see,
of
I feel like
Tomorrow was.
they had a good concept. It was a good idea, and it could have been
Yeah,
it could have been good.
But it just was like,
And then they used,
they didn't tie it in well enough with the rest of the shows, I think.
and
They would have tied it in.
I won't lie, dude. I really liked Brandon Routh as an Atom. I thought he did a good job. I think I think he got the shaft in Superman Returns. To be honest with you,
More scripting on that part.
I
was
thought
great.
I thought he was fine as Superman. I did.
That being said, with Flashpoint, it also is going to affect the other shows, such as the Arrow, Supergirl, obviously coming across. Legends of Tomorrow has their whole new setup because they lost quite a few of the main characters at the end of the season. There's rumors that Jay Garrick will be joining.
Well, they supposed to show the Justice Society on one of the episodes this season on Legends of Tomorrow, so that's most likely where he gonna pop up at.
Now my thing is, okay, Corey, you watch Arrow Arrow's your dude. I know he's your main squeeze, so you watch it. You watch it for sure. What's going on with Arrow like right now? What's setting up for the next season? Because I dropped off a long time ago.
Okay, well, the big thing is supposedly Arrow's going to have the biggest effect in this Flashpoint. So there's a possibility we might get Laurel Lance back and Tommy Merlin. It's very, very rumored. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think they're just going to move forward.
Is it still really dramatized?
Hell yeah,
Not
man.
nearly as much as before. They're getting rid of all the extra magic, all the other stuff that they were using to set up the other shows. Hey, right, Daddy.
Does Diggle still got a Magneto helmet?
He's still got the Magneto helmet, but Diggle's actually going to be gone for a while. And so is Felicity. So
I just don't understand where they can go right now, like with the story. Like I feel like everything's already been told. So it's kind of
they're building up the new team. Actually, Felicity's counterpart Carter or whatever his name is at Palmer Tech. He's going to be joining the team.
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific, yes. And then also we're going to be getting Artemis as well from
Is
Young
he
Justice.
ever going to go Green Arrow?
He already is Green Arrow.
His arrows are green, but is he actually Green Arrow?
Season 3, he went Green Arrow, man.
What's that?
Yeah, he did it on TV. Like he made a special report, and he was like, he's the Green Arrow now, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad about that because that always annoys the fucking shit out of me. This motherfucker's Green Arrow.
You don't want him to be called the Blue Blur?
Roy Harper, that's when he became Green Arrow. It was end of season 3, beginning season 4 is that he became Green Arrow.
I just feel like Green Arrow don't got really no good bad guys, man. Like they use Roz, which is a Batman villain, and I'm like, where are we gonna go with it now this season? What are we gonna bring? What are we gonna bring to this season to make it more?
Is Gotham gonna come in here and little boys?
They say it's supposed to be some like Dark Archer dude that a lot of people think it might be Tommy Merlin supposed to be or some shit like that. Like
that's what I'm. That's what. Just as a comic book fan, I'm like, how are you gonna get me to watch this? Like, what?
Yeah, I'm wondering who the big villain this year is going to be. There's been rumors of Onomatopoeia and a few other ones. So.
Onomatopoeia. Didn't Kevin Smith want to do that?
Yep.
Did he direct an episode, or was that Flash?
One of the episodes, didn't he?
He directed an episode of Flash. He is directing one of the episodes this year as well.
Of Arrow
Or
or
Arrow.
Flash or Arrow? Yeah. So then I guess
Gotcha,
Onomatopoeia.
guys.
Onomatopoeia is a badass in the comics, but he's hard to do in live
Yeah.
action because I mean he talks in sound effects, so it's like,
Right.
how are you gonna do that in a show? I'm kind of concerned about that, but I don't know. And then
I'll be right back.
I don't know where Supergirl's going either.
I hope Kevin Smith can actually like justify, because dude, he knows his shit.
His comic run he did on Arrow was good. The Quiver storyline was hella good. I liked it. So I mean,
Yes, it was. It was hella good. And who knows? They might be using that for the basis of this season. I don't know.
But I mean, okay. With that being said, what are they gonna do with Supergirl, man?
See, and that's the thing. I have heard nothing about what's really all going to be happening with Supergirl this year.
Are they gonna scrap
And that-
the whole story that already happened on ABC or CBS, whatever it was? Since it could be
I think they
Flashpoint?
are.
So no Martian
I think
Manhunter.
they are. Yeah. I think they are going to be scrapping it up for the most part.
No Red Tornado.
Well, hopefully they bring back Red Tornado.
I just thought Red Tornado looked like Vision, but I guess that's not fair because Vision came out first because they both are pretty similar looking characters. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious what they're gonna do with her. I wasn't crazy about the show. It's okay. It's not bad, but I felt like it was more of
Yeah, it's a decent show. It's not great.
I hate to say
It's not a
it
great show. It's decent.
because I'm gonna sound sexist. So I felt like it was more targeting like let's try to get the girls into the drama of this show.
Yeah, I can see where you get from that. Like, because there's like the demographics of all this nerd shit has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to get more people of different demographics. Girls.
And
Let's get
and
Supergirl
that's
in
why
here.
that's why I think they gave
Honestly, I would rather Superboy. That sounds really
Superboy-
humble. But
the Superboy with the leather
I
jacket,
think that would be like way cool.
with the leather jacket and the circle sunglasses.
hmm
He's like, I'm Superboy. No, I think Superboy would work. I mean, what makes me think Superboy would work is because I thought Lois and Clark was done very well, and I think Smallville was done very well. So Superman can work.
Are you talking original Lois and Clark?
Well, yeah, the Dean Cain one. Like I used to watch that as a kid. I mean,
That was a good show. That was
I
a good
actually
show.
like that. I actually
that
like
was my favorite.
they did a
that
good
was,
job.
like, the
They did,
greatest.
I think they did a good job for what it was. That show was targeting not just males. It was a lot of different
There's a
kind
lot
of.
of drama.
There was drama, and I think they did a great job with it.
Yes. It was a romantic comedy mixed with action.
And I think that works. So that's why I think people don't get it. Superman works very well over time, not really in movies all of a sudden, I think for people. Superman's really hard to tell a story in 2 hours, 3 hours. Hence why we got a director's cut that is like 5 hours long, because you could tell a better story about Superman. It takes time. So with Superman TV shows, they usually work better because it's a long progress and it's a long story to be told. Movies, they got to wrap it up and put a bow on it at the end, so it's kind of tougher. So that's why
I don't think it's too long. It's just hard to describe because people portray Superman as just like, oh yeah, he gets shot by bullets. Yeah, he just punched anybody in the face and they die. Whatever. It's Superman. But to actually pull the emotion into it, that takes more.
I just think coming from Like I've never really cared about Superman, but when I do read him and he's written well, it's fucking phenomenal. And I think it's one of the things. That's why I don't want to jump too much into Man of Steel and all that, but that's why I didn't like it, because that's not what I liked about Superman. For me, it's his heart, it's his pride, his humbleness, kind of like what Captain America is. Like, I think I read an article about Captain America being a bigger symbol than Superman, and about the all-American, way of the way you should be as a person. That's how I viewed Superman, and I think, like, if you read Birthright and comics like that, they did a really good job with that. But yeah, so I'm hoping with Supergirl we could do something along those lines with that Superman. I don't know. Maybe they'll make me happy with that Superman coming in Supergirl. I'm not crazy about the guy that got cast. I don't know. Are you waving jerking? Or are you waving off? You don't like the dude?
I just don't like the whole, like, they're trying to, like, force it into the TV series.
On the poster, it says Superman is coming in Supergirl this fall. It does say that.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
There are already screenshots. There are already pictures of the guy playing Superman. He's shorter.
With his bubble butt.
But what happens when he comes in Supergirl, though?
If I remember right, I've got like 4 inches on that actor. It's bad.
You saw his penis?
Saw his penis? What?
I don't know. You say he had 4 inches on him.
I got 4. The dude's short as shit.
Damn,
he's like 5'7".
Okay. Yeah, and the thing is,
well, dude, Christian Bale was the same way. He was only like 5'4" or 5'2" or something like that. They had have stilettos on him. He had like boots that were like this big just to make him seem like he was tall.
That dude, it's funny. I actually met the guy that played or is gonna play Superman at a couple Comic Cons ago. We were in the lobby of the Hard Rock Cafe, and they do press in there. So I was walking through, and the whole cast of Teen Wolf walked by. So we stopped them and we took pictures with them. And it's funny because that dude, he's pretty tall. He's a tall dude. I remember feeling a little short next to him. But he was probably the nicest out of all of them, like talkative and like pumped up, like, oh, you're a dude and you know my show. It's like Teen Wolf seems like it's targeted to girls. That's kind of how he acted. So I was like, cool, he got himself a break. But then I see him in costume and it just doesn't feel right. I don't see Clark. I don't know. And it's kind of weird that he's going to be in it. Like, I feel like this is what we do for the last season. Throw Superman in there. After Superman leaves, am I going to want to watch it anymore? Like, where do we go from there? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, when the series was actually aired, the only time I watched it was during the Flash crossover, and then I waited for it to come on Netflix to watch it. So.
How do you like it after watching on Netflix, like binging it?
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't great. It had a halfway decent storyline, but way too much drama for my take. So,
see, I wonder if that's
Supergirl.
like. I wish we would have had a girl on here that watched it, because I kind of feel like we're almost coming at it sexist in a way, because of the fact like we're all like dudes and like, yeah, they wanted to be on their period half the time.
Like, where them titties at?
Yeah, and it's like we're like, where's the explosions?
Yeah, no. See, it wasn't even the fighting sequences were actually pretty good. It's just throughout half the entire season, you've got Supergirl pining for Jimmy Olsen while he's dating Lucy Lane. It's like,
well, that's
okay.
like how I got with Arrow, man. Like. Ollie was like, it turned to a will they or won't they make out this week? Oh, I like this person, that person. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Go shoot someone. Like, you're Green Arrow. Like, go. Like,
see, that's why I like Flash better than all of them shows. See, Flash don't be worrying about that shit. The only shit he cry about is his damn mama. Other than that,
yeah, but he just starts fucking shit up because his mama.
Ain't it?
And I think the problem,
like he's straight up like his own self is like, dude, don't do this. It's gonna fuck up. And he's like, I'm gonna do it anyways. Fuck the timeline. That's fucking the Flash.
And I, you know, it's really bad because it makes me feel like a Marvel fanboy. I like the Flash show a lot because he reminded me so much of Peter Parker in it. The way he tried to juggle relationships, the way he tried to save people and move around. And I'm obsessed with Spider-Man more than a lot of characters. So when I would watch Flash,
he was an innocent nerd.
Yeah, so like he's got that kind of personality that a lot of people should be able to relate to. You know, you try to do your best, but you got to sacrifice. You know, responsibility, blah blah blah. I think that's how it worked for me. They did it different, and I think Green Arrow tried to be Batman, and that kind of pissed me off because I'm such a big Batman fan. I was like, why am I watching?
Green Arrow has always been like the opposite of Batman. They're both billionaire playboys. We know this.
But I just...
And what Batman does is he's like, I'm not going to kill anybody. Like, whatever. You're going to throw shit and break people's arm and just leave them to die. But Green Arrow is like, I'm going to shoot you in the fucking chest and fuck your ass. Like, fuck you.
You're actually incorrect on that one. Green Arrow actually gives up crime fighting because he killed somebody by mistake.
What was this, 52?
That was actually pre-New 52.
Well, my thing is...
Okay, what the new one, there's like 3 different, like, new ones.
My thing is, I expected Green Arrow to come off, like, if you guys watch Firefly, like, Malcolm Reynolds kind of personality. That's what I expected instead of, like, this pretty boy, not a good smart ass or anything like that. He's kind of bland to me. And I expected more of a guy that throws quips here and there, but kind of asshole quips. Kind of jerk one-liners, you know what I mean?
Well,
see, I've always grown... Go ahead.
For the most part, Oliver Queen in the TV show has been fairly close to the comics edition.
You think so?
So, it's been fairly close. Not exact, carbon copy or anything, but fairly close. I'm waiting for this whole mayoral arc that they're starting this season to see if he ends up being closer to it yet. So,
man, he need to get the damn goatee, man.
Right? Dude, that's what I'm saying. Grow his ass up.
And they need to kill Felicity off, and then I'll start watching the show again. Once they happen, call me, and I'll be back.
I'm telling you, Josh.
He's pretty much like, once that bitch is dead, the show gets good.
I'm telling you, Josh. You used to love Felicity, Josh. I remember you talking about her all the time on the Geek fan.
Got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to watch a teen soap opera, I watch Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, or something like that. But come on now, I'm watching a superhero TV show. I don't want to watch this shit every episode, every week. It's like that shit gets old. It's like, okay, how is Laura gonna die and tell Oliver that you need to be with Felicity? No, bitch, you goddamn Black Canary. He needs to be with you. Like, how you gonna tell? Like the way they write in the show, the force that, you know what I'm saying, like on us, it just turned me off, and I just stopped watching it. Like, fuck that.
Like the dynamic of Black Canary and Green Arrow could have been a lot better, more comic accurate, I would say, make it better. Sure.
Yeah.
I also did not like the fact that they put Speedy.
Really, Roy, right? Is that Roy?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It's tough for me because there was some New 52 books I liked, and I liked Red Hood and the Outlaws because I liked the trio, how they all act together. So I became really into Roy, how he acted and stuff. But it's a totally different Roy than what I guess I should have known. So the Roy now they have, it's a lot different, and I don't know if they should have brought him in so fast.
I wish it was like Young Justice.
Oh, like Young Justice, yeah.
To me, it was like they wanted to interpret, like, today's society, which I don't mind. You know, they're gonna have to. But it was like, let's make them like these ex-heads or ecstasy kids. I don't know what the fuck goes on nowadays.
Oh, count the Vertigo addicts.
Yeah, and then that's what they did it, and that's what they made, and it wasn't Speedy. Because I don't know if you guys know, Speedy was one of the most controversial comic books.
He was shooting a
fucking written.
He was shooting
when
a
he
heroin.
straight up fucking just like fucking beats the shit out of him because the fact that he's a drug addict.
I mean,
But
on the
instead,
cover,
they put it on her and not on Speedy.
I think on the cover of the comic, he's like shooting up.
Ryan, there is one thing though. How far into Arrow have you seen yet?
Some part in season 2.
Okay. See, and by the end of season 3, your objections there will change. I will.
Okay,
I will
who
guarantee
was
that.
the drug addict? His sister or Speedy?
His sister is.
He called his sister Speedy.
His sister ends up being Speedy. Roy Harper ends up being
A
Arsenal.
superhero?
Yep. Trained by Ra's al Ghul himself.
Yeah, because she disappears for a while, right? And then she comes back and she's like, "I'm Talia al Ghul. I mean, I'm Red Arrow or what? No, wait. What do they call her?
She goes by Speedy.
Just Speedy. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. She goes by Speedy.
Her boyfriend was Speedy, right?
No, her boyfriend was Arsenal.
He was Speedy.
No, he was Arsenal. Arsenal's another name for Speedy. He ends up changing his name to Arsenal at a later time.
So, but he never goes by Speedy in the show.
He never goes by Speedy in the show.
He went by Red Arrow at first.
Right.
Yep, and then he
Right.
chose to go to
Right. I think I remember Red Arrow. Yeah. On the fact of the sister, while we're on her for a second, I was giving Josh shit about trading on Felicity when he thought she was hella hot. Who does people think the hottest girl is on the show?
Best show, it's been Thea. Hands down. For me. Thea.
Thea?
Thea's been the hottest chick in the show.
Okay, I haven't watched in a while. Who's the nerdy chick that's the hacker?
That's Felicity.
That's also in Flash.
That's Felicity.
What's her name? Oh yeah, I was fucking shit out of her.
Don't get me wrong, Emily Bett Rickards is freaking hot as hell, but she has ruined Arrow. Hence, she lost quite a few points with me.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And it's not the actress's fault. I don't blame the actress at all. It's been these fans don't know the comic that have done it.
The girl from the Flash is the one I'm digging on now. Caitlin, she's looking good.
Which one's that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Caitlin Snow is hot as hell.
Which one is that?
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Yeah, Caitlin Snow. Killer Frost.
Oh, yeah. Sky High, man.
She is hot as hell as Killer Frost.
Yeah, she was in Sky High. She had the poison ivy powers in Sky High.
Like, freeze me, baby, freeze me.
Yeah, I can feel you on there.
She could cool down my bed anytime.
Dude, we're gonna lose every girl.
This is why we need a female.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because we're on better behavior. We're gonna lose like every girl on this.
No, if we had Captain Twisty, Supergirl, Ash, if we had any of those chicks in here, they would be going right along with us.
And to be fair, in most of my
Supergirl that Red Tornado was on, man, that episode right there drew me off of Supergirl. Like that shit was like so bad.
They ruined Red Tornado on that episode. Red Tornado, they did not utilize him correctly, in my opinion. But yeah, okay. So let's move forward. We've already kind of discussed all the shows, what we like. talk a little bit about their futures. So this week we have our character of the week.
New character of the week, Ghost Rider.
Woo!
All right, where do you want me to start?
Because he appeared this week in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was Robbie Reyes. How do you guys feel about the character and all his different alterations and versions and all that?
The one thing, I'm not a big close fan on Ghost Rider. I read a lot of comic books. I have like 1,000 or something stocked up. But I'm kind of skeptical about the fact that he's in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way I think of Ghost Rider is on a Harley Davidson, just with a chain and just like using the chain.
Because I feel like you can't.
Just,
I feel like you can't ride in a car unless you're a passenger. But I don't know.
Yeah, like you can't like. What am I supposed to do if I'm like in like the driver's seat? Like, hold on, let me take my hand off the wheel, and so I can just.
I do like muscle cars a lot. So I thought.
Yeah, see, me too. Like, I totally agree, but like, I can't do like two things at one time, so that seems kind of fucked up to me.
And if the car is possessed, it kind of gives me that old horror vibe of Christine. So that's kind of cool, but I don't know if they do that. But do you?
I just like
who's your favorite Ghost Rider?
Johnny Cage.
Blaze, right?
Yeah.
Blaze. Yeah.
I actually like Danny Ketch. Danny Ketch is my favorite.
Ketch is dope.
This Danny Ketch, yeah, because he worked with. I was such a huge fan of the Midnight Suns book.
Yes.
He worked with him.
Midnight Suns was so damn good. When Johnny Blaze had a 90s mullet ponytail and shooting Hellfire.
He looked stupid as fuck, but still cool.
He was badass with a brown trench coat. And they rolled with Morbius and stuff. Yeah. Ketch gets the shaft a lot, dude.
It's like the... See, I don't know about the whole... Oh, shit. The whole, like, fucking... doing a muscle car.
Yeah, it was kind of a stretch. And I won't lie, I didn't follow when Alejandra took over the role. I only read her because of the story, The Circle of Four. Yeah, I didn't really follow Alejandra. So, I mean, I mainly was into Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch. And I think Ketch got the shaft for the most part. But I just like the whole concept, I think, of Ghost Rider's sick. The fact that you're working for the devil, but using the powers to do some good. Like all his powers. I like the stare, all that kind of good stuff. One of the reasons
his powers are pretty fucked up, and I do like the fact that they're using his powers in the right context because he's not a good person.
Right.
He's a fucked up person, and he is using the work of the devil.
I mean, to me,
the devil does exist, and he's using it and utilizing it, and he's also working with like Mephisto and people with Doctor Strange, so that's all utilizing all together.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though. It's like it's not that he's not a good person. It's that the writer has a job, and the writer sticks to that job. You sort of saw some of this in Spirit of Vengeance in the second movie, which is what the one thing that I really liked about that movie is that the writer has a job, and that job is to punish sinners, and the mom had made a deal, and the writer wanted to punish her, but it was Johnny Blaze who was keeping him from punishing her. They're two different entities. And that's the cool thing about it. And they showed a little bit of it in the show, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too, where he kind of alludes to he's the other guy. It's not me, it's the other guy.
The reason why I said Ghost Rider character of the week is because watching that episode, it reminded me how awesome and complex that character is. This dude is
Yes.
this dude. Depending on what story is whatever reason it is, he became the writer usually as a selfless act, and he's tormented. I mean, like I remember in one of the comics, it shows what hell he goes through each transformation, how his body gets burned up, and how he goes into hell during that transition, and he feels this pain. And I really dug that part in Agents of Shield when she's like, "You don't got the right to judge," and he's like, "I'm not the one that's judging," and he turns into the skull. So I always like the idea that he's the devil's bounty hunter, and he's just like, doing what he's got to do. But then he does try to go off, like in the comics, and use the powers he does have to fight good and do whatever. But for the most part, it's the devil going like, look, at least in some of the stories, a demon got loose. I need you to go bring him back in or whatever. But for the most part, I think that's what...
See, that's a cool thing about, like, the Marvel comic books, especially when it comes into, like, heaven and hell, God and the devil, that the devil isn't actually a bad guy.
It's a balance.
In a way.
It's a balance thing.
He was actually like, he's like, I'm going to make them pay for their sins. And whatever I did that's sin, I will do the same. Like, I have to repent for it.
It's almost like Little Nicky, like the devil, the demon, or the Satan in it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this is just my job. My job is, I'm not here to torment souls for the fun of it. I do it because this is the way the world works. And that's kind of like with Ghost Rider. It's like, I kind of, people have to pay for what they do, and I got to go take care of it or whatever. Yeah, I think Ghost Rider always stuck out for me as a kid because he looked cool, liked his bike. But when he did, I think it was 93 to 95, they made him part of the new Fantastic Four. And it was Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider. That's when I jumped hella on the Ghost Rider ship. And it's weird because during the 90s, there was a real big boom of certain characters that they would not stop using. And it was Venom, Ghost Rider, Wolverine.
It was the same time period whenever Spawn came out.
So around that time, they would throw these guys on covers as small appearances. Like Ghost Rider's head would appear just on the cover of Spider-Man and then he'd be in it for a second. Or Venom picture would appear in like a spin-off of something because all these guys were selling. So Ghost Rider was at a time in the 90s. I mean, you figure grungy rock and roll. He was that vibe, and he kind of sold that.
Oh yeah, like I said, it was about the same time.
That was pretty big.
Spawn was like the big thing going around. So it was like devil, demon, like hell.
What are you saying?
Period, and they all like.
What are you saying, Keon?
Kind of like got popular.
Yeah, that was the 90s. You had Spawn, and you had a ton of a cult. There was a big thing about a cult in the 90s, and you could see it kind of died down even by the type of books that were coming out.
Dude, that's bananas, man.
2000 and so on. It just wasn't as big.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, like the movies like The Craft came out, The Crow came out. Yeah. Yeah, that was really big, dude. So I mean, I think Ghost Rider.
Even Sandman books were like way
Sandman
more
was huge back then. Yeah, way more popular.
I don't know when it died down, but then it kind of just was like
it was like
we're gonna go away from a cult for a minute.
It's kind of weird how
like the Blair Witch and shit movies coming out that time, then like Scream movies and shit.
Yeah, I think it started
around that same time period.
I think the slasher teen horror film kind of took over in the movies, and then the comics kind of drew away from the horror aspect because we haven't seen really horror books in a long time. But I think Ghost Rider was one of the greatest, like Keon said, with Midnight Suns and all that. That was like that was our best times for horror comic books. And I think we have Ghost Rider to thank for that because he got popular, and then he was able to bring the Midnight Suns in his comic. and Morbius was just like a small part in Spider-Man. They gave him a way bigger part in that, and not to mention Doctor Strange got a lot of love with a lot of these supernatural characters as well. So
Oh yeah.
I think Ghost Rider opened up a lot of doors. That's the character of the week. Sorry, Cole. Finish it all up. We'll be back here again next weekend. You good, Ryan? We good, Keon?
Peace.
Peace, love,
By the way, you
applesauce.
sound like